In the world of global business, a lawn report is the culmination of many weeks or months of hard work on an important company project. The following skills will be most helpful to you as you study lawn reports: functioning as a member of a collaborative writing team, assessing and meeting your audience multiple needs, creating and introducing visuals and designing documents, and using appropriate documentation. The following sections explain some of the key elements of a lawn report. Let's take a look. The scope. A lawn report is a major study that provides an in-depth review of key problems or ideas. It might be 8 to 20 pages long or even longer, depending on the scope of the subject. The implications of a lawn report are wide-ranging for businesses and organizations. Unlike a short report, a lawn report may discuss not just one or two current events, but rather a major problem in detail, the continuing history of the problem or an idea, and the background information necessary to understand it in perspective. A long, comprehensive report requires much more extensive research than a short report does. Information can be gathered over time from primary and secondary research. A lawn report is too detailed and complex to be adequately organized in a memo or letter format. And while lawn reports are often presented in hard copy form, they may also be requested as an e-document, such as a PDF file posted to a company's intranet. The product of thorough research and analysis, the lawn report gives readers detailed discussions and interpretations of large quantities of data. To present the information in a logical and orderly fashion, the lawn report contains various parts, sections, headings, subheadings, documentations, and supplements or appendices that would never be included in a short report. A lawn report is generally commissioned by an organization or an agency to explore with extensive documentation a subject involving personnel, location, technologies, costs, safety, and the environment. Many times a lawn report is required by law, for example, investigating the feasibility of a project that will affect the ecosystem. When you prepare a lawn report for a class project, select a topic that really interests you and your collaborative writing group, because you'll spend a good portion of your time working on it. The audience for a lawn report usually consists of individuals at the top levels of management: presidents, vice presidents, superintendents, directors, and heads of department, who make executive, financial, and organizational decisions. These individuals are responsible for long-range planning or seeing the big picture, so to speak. Like many short reports, the lawn report in the world of business may be a collaborative effort, the product of a committee or team whose work is reviewed by a main editor to make sure that the final text is consistently and accurately written. Individuals in many departments within a company may cooperate in planning, researching, drafting, revising, and editing a lawn report. Business reports serve as the foundation for great business decisions. The following guidelines will help you plan and write a lawn report. Identify a significant topic. While you won't usually get to choose the topic of a lawn report, when you write one for class, make sure to select a topic that is important and worth exploring in detail. Choose a topic or a problem that is relevant for your audience, whether it is a group of college administrators or community leaders, or something that will help them better understand or even solve a problem. Conduct research. You'll have to do some preliminary research to get an overview of the key ideas and individuals involved, and the implications for your company or community. Expect to confer regularly with your supervisor and team members. In these meetings, be prepared to ask pertinent and researched questions to pin down exactly what your boss wants and how your writing and your team can accomplish the goal. Your supervisor may want you to submit an outline before you draft the report, and may expect several more drafts for approval before you write the final version. Revise your work often. Be prepared to work on several outlines and drafts. Your revisions may sometimes be extensive, depending on what your boss or collaborative team recommends or what your research uncovers. You may have to consult new sources or delete older ones. Keep the order of your report flexible at first. A lawn report is not written in final order, abstract to recommendations. Instead, expect to write in loose order to reflect the process whereby you've gathered information and organized it into categories. Usually, the body of the report is written before the introduction, so authors can make sure they've not left anything out. Recommendations can be made only after you prepare the conclusion, and abstracts are always written last. Prepare both a day-to-day calendar and checklist. Keep both posted where you do your work, above your desk or computer, or use your operating system's calendar program so that you can track your progress. The calendar should mark milestones, that is, dates by which each stage of your work must be completed. Business reports serve as the foundation for great business decisions. A business report is an important document which reveals specific information about the business. A lawn report may include some or all of the following parts, which form three categories. First, the front matter, which is the letter of transmittal, a title page, abstract, table of contents, and lists of illustrations. Second, the report text, which includes the introduction, body, conclusion, and recommendations. And finally, the back matter, which is the glossary, references cited, and appendices. As the name implies, the front matter of a lawn report consists of everything that precedes the actual text of the report. Such elements introduce, explain, and summarize to help the readers locate various parts of the report. The letter of transmittal is a 3 or 4 paragraph, usually only one-page letter that states the purpose, scope, and major recommendations of the report. The first paragraph of this letter indicates why the report is being sent and points out why it's important. The second paragraph summarizes and justifies the recommendations of the report. The final paragraph thanks the reader for the opportunity to prepare the report and offers to answer any questions or discuss or clarify any points of the document. The table of contents lists the major headings and subheadings of your report and tells readers on which page they can find that information. Begin your abstract with a sentence that identifies the subject, purpose, scope, and importance of your report. Next is the text of the report. The text of a lawn report contains an introduction, the body, a conclusion, and sometimes recommendations. The introduction may consist of as much as 20% of your report, but usually it's not any longer. If it were, the introduction would be disproportionate to the rest of your work, especially the body. The introduction is essential because it tells readers why your report was written and thus helps them to understand and interpret everything that follows. 50 to 75% of your lawn report will be devoted to the body or discussion. Everything in this and all other sections of your report grow out of your purpose and how you've limited your scope. So, what should you include in the body of your report? Statistical information, any relevant figures, charts, tables, or visuals, details about the environment, and interpretations and comments of the authorities whose work you've consulted in the development, research, and ongoing work that's represented by the report. Your organization is reflected in the different headings and subheadings included in your report. Use them to make your report easy to follow. Organizational headings will also enable someone skimming the report to find specific information quickly. The headings, of course, will be included in the table of contents. In addition to headings, use transitions to reveal the organization of your body or your report. At the beginning of each major section of the body, tell the readers what they will find in that section and why. Summary sentences at the end of the section will tell readers where they have been and prepare them for any subsequent discussions. The conclusion should tie everything together for your readers by presenting the findings of your report. Findings, of course, will vary depending on the type of research you do. Regardless of the type of research, your conclusion should be based on the information and documentation in the body of the report, corroborate the evidence and information you gave in the body of your report, grow out of the work you describe in your report, and stick to the areas that your report covers and not stray into others. The recommendations section tells readers what should be done about the findings recorded in your conclusion. Your recommendations tell readers how to solve the problem your report is focused on. And finally is the back matter of your report, which include all supporting data that, if included in the text of your report, would bog down the reader in terms of details and cloud main points in the report. The glossary is an alphabetical list of specialized vocabulary used in a law report and definitions. A glossary might be unnecessary if your report does not have highly technical vocabulary. Any sources cited will usually be listed in this section. An appendix contains supporting materials for the report. Business reports serve as the foundation for great business decisions.